So Commander Adama is sending out another Raptor to conduct an aerial survey of this planet. It appears to have suffered some sort of a calamity, but it could actually be inhabitable. The aerial survey shows evidence of at least one city on the surface. It was obviously abandoned a long time ago.
How old are the ruins?
Well, we won't know for sure until they send a ground team, but the initial estimates have it on the order of approximately 2,000 years.
That's around the time the 13 tribes first left Cobol.
Let me see. Ruins? What ruins?
This is an inhabited city. Look at the buildings.
Buildings.
Look.
What did you see? Tell me, Laura.
A dome-like structure with 6 roads leading out of it like spokes, with something around it like columns, like a forum, like the forum on Caprica, actually.
The forum in the Opera House in the City of the Gods. On Cobol. This planet is Cobol.
Cobalt like Cobalt.
Birthplace of mankind, where the gods and men lived in paradise until the exodus of the 13 tribes.
Madam President, what's going on?
It's real. The scriptures, the myths, the prophecies, they're all real.
So say we all.
Well, my initial response is there he goes again. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Baltar is distorting the real issues before us. The issue here, the real question, is not allowing the scriptures to dictate the policy of this government. The question is, do the scriptures contain real-world relevance? Do they contain the information necessary to guide us to a safer home than some completely unknown planet that we've just now discovered? Obviously, my answer to that question is yes. I have always and will continue to feel the scriptures hold real-world relevance.
Mr. Vice President, the next question is for you. How do you respond to the charges that you seize the idea of permanent settlement on this planet as an opportunistic gamble? Some would say as to be construed as a desperate move from a campaign that was falling behind in every poll.
Well, you know, that is an excellent question, in fact, Jim. Thank you. And I'm only too glad to have the opportunity to respond to it. You see, I have long been a proponent in the search for Earth, the promise of perhaps finding not only a new home, but also the prospect of discovering our long-lost brothers and sisters of the 13th colony is a powerful one, and one I have believed in heart and soul. But the trouble is, the Cylons continue to follow us, as they have done every step of the way, since the destruction of the colonies. And if we have a chance to change this dynamic, to stop this deadly chase, shouldn't we take it? My answer is yes.
Thank you. Madam President, 30 seconds.
There's no assurance, none whatsoever, that the Cylons don't already know about this planet, that they don't make regular stops here looking for us, and that in fact, they aren't simply waiting for us to settle on the surface so they can
I have to
attack
respond
us.
to that. I simply have to respond to that.
I'll give you 15 seconds.
What you've seen right now, ladies and gentlemen, is another example of the president using fear to drive her campaign. Fear. Fear of the gods. Fear of the Cylon. Fear of fear itself. Is it not time to stop being afraid? I'm asking all of us to stop running from our lives and start living them. Thank you.
Thank you. That is all we have time for today. I'd like to thank both the candidates for their frankness today. Very exciting debate. This concludes the cycle of the debates for the presidency.
Care to comment
The polls
on
will
the
open in
news
3
stories
days.
crediting so-called
Please vote.
military sources
Thank you, and
that
good
claim
night.
the Demetrius is searching for food sources? Madam President,
Give you a
rather
night,
that
I
we
guess.
just
Why don't you
accept
go
this
frack
obvious
yourself?
attempt at disinformation?
Order, please.
I'm afraid I don't control the media, Jacob, as much as you know I'd love to. Regarding the reports, the Demetrius mission is a matter of fleet security, and as such, I can and won't discuss it, period.
Madam President, I have to say that my constituency is
Madam
not satisfied
President,
with that executive feat.
Do you realize this casts doubt on something as fundamental as our route to Earth?
Yes, but don't take my yes to imply that the rumors are true.
Madam President,
Jacob, and everyone, please. I cannot believe that the Demetrius is the only matter that is important to your constituents. Can we please move on? You know my answer to this.
okay, do you know what?
Free trade deal. Goodbye.
Order, please. Order!
Madam President, I'm sure we can all understand the importance for the need for security. Coming from the military, it's my experience that we sometimes err too strongly on the side of caution. So, for the sake of reassuring my colleagues and hopefully putting this matter to rest, would it not be fair to say that you and Admiral Adama are naturally exploring all possible routes to Earth?
Here, here. Now we're getting focused. That's exactly what we
Mr. Adama, we are all anxious to receive the benefit of your experience, but I personally don't feel the need to have a junior delegate appoint himself my spokesman. Let's move on. Jacob, you had a matter on the table. Would you please continue?
Thank you, Madam President. My constituents are once again having trouble obtaining
Point of
medical
order.
supplies. Now, I have prepared a report that I think would benefit.
Point of order, Mr. Vice President.
Excuse me. Hello? Order, please! Order, please! Thank you very, very much, Mr. Cantrell. Will you yield the floor?
I will yield.
Thank you. This relates to your Executive Order 112.
112.
Which establishes a system of tribunals. The judges chosen by you, answerable only to a special court of appeals, the judges of which would also be chosen by you. Effectively, it creates a justice system that further and dangerously concentrates power into the hands of the executive, namely into your hands, Madam President. Far from being independent or impartial, it would actually damage the very idea of justice, even the illusion of the idea of justice.
Thank you, Mr. Adama. The order you're referring to, Executive Order 112, is actually a work in progress, and the changes it proposes are provisional. It is a first step, tiny step, but the first step in a larger plan, actually, to create a fair and comprehensive legal system, which you, of all people, can admit we sorely need. Now, naturally, I was going to bring it to the quorum to open it up for debate once it was finished, which it isn't. But since you've brought it into the public today, I propose that we put it on the docket for the next full session. Is that satisfactory to you, Mr. Adama?
No.
I've just been informed that you've been spotted down there enough times to be a charter member of his nymph squad.
All right. I have come to believe in Baltar's spiritual message. I don't know how or why. It just happened. I wish you knew how many times I wanted to tell you. Your friendship and your trust means
Frack. Clearly, my friendship and trust mean frack. And I don't really care if you have to spend the night on your knees praying or just on your knees. I want a name. I want to know who's responsible for these lies.